I'm honestly going to go on a tantrum here. There is no real conclusion to this video that I'm about to make. We have had over a year of an ongoing genocide, now apparently suddenly stopping due to a ceasefire. I haven't researched much on the ceasefire. I know that there are going to be steps about it, that there are step-by-step processes that this ceasefire is going to be implemented through. Now, here are a few issues with everything. The USA is trying to get full credit, even though they were the ones who allowed this whole thing to happen in the first place. They backed this genocide. They backed the Israeli regime in all other institutions, from their military to even backing their government members. Don't forget, other countries, especially the one that I'm living inside of, Germany, had no issues backing this as well, inciting hatred towards its Arab and Muslim minority communities, inciting hatred amongst activists, even Jewish activists. Germany was instrumental in reviving fascism. The US was instrumental in reviving this genocide, and Israel was instrumental in reviving impunity in front of the international law. We have three main countries. Obviously, all Western countries are at fault here as well. Three Western countries. One of them already having done the worst genocide in history, other one being the worst war criminal, the worst terrorist country in all of human history, and the other one of them being a puppet state for that country that is the worst terror country in all of history. So three countries working side by side to revive everything that is wrong with our modern day world. And not even to talk about all the human lives that were destroyed in this pointless, absolutely pointless war against Hamas. Like, does anybody even believe it for a second? The infant destruction forces thought that it was a good idea to shoot a bunch of toddlers in the head because they were bored. They thought it was a good idea to spray Hind Rajab, an adorable little girl, with 500 bullets because these guys just cannot help themselves from not killing babies. Like, what are they going to do if they see a baby not killed? Like, for them, it is so reasonable and understandable why they would kill babies. And the rest of the world, especially Germany, especially the USA, have to lie to themselves to come up with this insane idea that there is something inherently Jewish about killing children. There is inherently something Jewish that we have to protect when it comes to committing genocide. The rest of the world is so into this idiotic ideology that it's insane that people back this up, and obviously people who back this up don't actually believe in it, because I don't think that they're that stupid. They believe in it because in their head they've actually dehumanized Palestinians to the extent we're saying shit like, oh, killing babies is justifiable because Jewishness. It's like a normal argument for them. Now that aside, let's talk about this thing because I need to get this out of the way. Terrorism. When you say to a Zionist, yo, stop killing babies maybe, they will say, those Islamic barbaric terrorists. What's your fucking point? You're throwing buzzwords around. You're throwing words around that you don't even know the definition of. If you ask any of them, define terrorism right now, they won't be able to define it. And the reason they won't be able to define it because they use those words because they're politically convenient for them, not because it actually means anything to them. It is politically convenient for them because they can paint an entire people as barbaric, inherently evil, without giving any analysis on the subject matter, on their ideology, on the facts on the ground. They don't even have to provide that. Just call in the word terrorist, hence you justify bombing them. It's such an easy but sloppy way of doing politics. And I am so mad at the German government for not only instrumentalizing this, but allowing this to happen as a country that formally committed the worst genocide in history. And I'm also very mad at Westerners, especially Germans, especially American citizens, who portray themselves as civilized, well-mannered, intelligent, and yet use that intelligence and that well-mannered language to mask their barbarity and backing of a state that is the modern equivalent of National Socialist Germany. There is no other way to put it. People who talk in high-class language use words that make them sound more intelligent, and then use that to mask their absolutely horrific beliefs, their absolutely racist and downright disgusting beliefs that it is somehow okay to kill infants. I just just have no words anymore. And then there are also the audiences of those people who see them speaking in this well-spoken manner, and instead of analyzing the content of their speech, they just look at their speech patterns and like, oh yeah, this guy must be intelligent. So when he says that Israel is right in killing infants, he must be also right. We are at a crossroad where stupidity meets militia. Stupidity meets evil. And those two are not a good thing, because the Westerners have absolutely demonstrated during this genocide that they are bound to repeat the same mistakes that they did, and they're too fucking stupid to think for themselves. And if you're a white person watching this and you say, well, I stand against the genocide, I applaud you, first of all, but like, that should be expected. You should do that. And also, I am rightfully mad, and other minorities are rightfully mad, and perhaps you as a white person are rightfully mad at other white people. Now, of course, this is not an exclusively white thing, but brown people have experienced this, have experienced this their entire life. They will be more likely on the side of Palestine. That's just how it is. Whereas white people, by the design of the system, are more likely to be privileged from genocide. And saying this should not be controversial at all. So I am absolutely angry that this was allowed to continue. The US should not take credit for this bullshit when they were backing it the whole fucking year. The US, now, I'm not a Muslim, but three things that have to happen if we want world peace. 1, the destruction of capitalism. 2, the abolishment of the state of Israel. And 3, the fucking abolishment of everything, of all Western institutions and powers. They are so instrumental in backing genocides wherever the fuck they go, whether it's Myanmar, whether it's Sudan, whether it's Congo, whether it's Yemen. They fucking love it because the material that they gain out of it is so good. And then they can sit on their ass and pretend like all that material wealth was their doing. Was like somehow, I don't fucking get it. Somehow Germans live in this country and think that their country is like an isolated force that does not have impacts on global politics. You live in the third richest country in the world, you fucking idiot. The third richest country in the world. And you think somehow all of that wealth just was gained by Germany itself? Germany does not even hold enough wealth in its own borders to be able to be the third richest country in the world. That wealth had to come from somewhere, right? It's like, use fucking critical thinking for 2 seconds. Where was your phone made? How did the materials for that phone get taken? Where your sweater, even my sweater, where did that material come from? Where did this chair, those fucking furnitures, that wood, where do those things come from? Where does the metal come from that makes your trains, the cars, the plastic? Where does it all come from? And it's through the exploitation of the third world and even workers and natural resources in your own goddamn countries, man. The fact that this is like forgotten is insane to me. The fact that people can pretend like that their country has no impact on outside politics is fucking insane to me. That was my rant. I think I should stop before I actually start, I don't know, fucking throwing shit around.